for the kind of pressure that Leigrid has put the whole pack under. As you said earlier, Mike, sometimes the pace at the start of a relay, the whole bunch stay together, they arrive at the range together, but not today. And it's a short race, 7.5 kilometers, but these guys are absolutely hanging out there now, and they will be in so much pain. Leigrid and one or two others, Nellin, maybe one or two others will be skiing comfortably, technically well, but everyone else will be just trying to hold their technique together.
Total survival, isn't it? You're just desperately trying to hold your team in a good position, trying to maintain as less negative time as possible, as little negative time as possible.
So Anderson's been put in to hold the position, and he's getting to go out in first place. And then we've got Johannes Tingesbo and Christensen. And the strategy for Norway will have been to expect to be in first place, if not respond. Johannes Tingesbo can respond. And then, if necessary, and we know it's not likely, but it could happen, Christensen having to fight at the end. And he's a good fighter.
Yes, he is. I wonder if Christensen if his ego is slightly off from his slightly down performances, although 13th yesterday, missing 2 targets. You're right, he's skiing very well.
More likely to be angry than have his ego upset at this stage.
Yes, wanting to prove himself today. So through the range, the race through the range, forget about shooting this time. And now it's the handover, 7.5 kilometers complete. Athlete number 2 underway for Norway. Sweden chasing now. I think Ponsiluoma coming up for Sweden will try to close this down. I'm not sure it's possible. He was 6th yesterday, missing 1 target, Ponsiluoma. And Simon Eder finishing 51st yesterday, missing 2 targets. Has he got the ski pace? Will it put his shooting off if he tries to stay with it? We'll have to wait and see. And I tell you what, it's a very tight field. Look at that, 31 seconds, Ian, back to Canada. The race is still wide open. To 12th nation coming through within 31 seconds.
Great to see Romania there. Just, where are they? Just 41 seconds behind.
Yes, smaller nations are improving. They're closing that deficit. This was always going to be a tough day for Thomas Mikishka. Least experienced and youngest. And collapsing. He's given everything out there. And that's a pity for the Czech Republic. 59 seconds behind. So Norway still ahead. The advantage was 10 seconds at the exchange. So is Ponsiluoma, there he is.
Look at that long, lovely glide, Mike.
Such long reach. He's not frightened of compressing so far out. As you say, the balance, smooth. And I tell you what, he's wanting to put the new man in the Norwegian team under pressure, and I think that's the correct strategy. So it was 10 seconds. I'm quite sure Ponsiluoma's got that down to 6, maybe 7. And this young man will be certainly knowing that the full weight of Norway is on his shoulders. He'll desperately not want to let the team down. And with that comes pressure. So it was 10 seconds. Whoa, 2.7 seconds. So Ponsiluoma, that's quite a... To pull back 7 seconds to this point in the track, that's a big output of energy from Ponsiluoma. Eder living with the pace.
Yeah, we're not surprised really. Ponsiluoma can ski so well, but as we know, he often pays for it when he gets to the range.
He does. He's going to live with that risk. Under the two bridges, all that work, back up the valley. You get this 15-second tuck recovery before this rise of, 27-meter rise from the bridges to the top of this climb.
If Ada can relax and go into the range without going way over into lactic debt, so that his brain is pounding when he gets to the firing point. If, you know, it would be quite something to see Austria leave the range in first place. The crowd would love it, and I'm surprised Ada hasn't found himself with a bigger gap between him and Ponsiluoma at this stage. In fact, Ada is closing the gap on Anderson.
Quite amazing, and I think Ada, he's 39-year-old, he's going to be 40-year-old at the World Championships. He's putting all of his 17 years of World Cup racing out on the track right now, and he's living with his pace way above his comfort zone from his recent form, and he's going to take the risk. He knows this range better than anybody else, and I would imagine if he can breathe, he'll go for the fast shooting routine. Ada's the left-hander on the range, left-eyed shooter. The snow is absolutely pumping down now.
That gap starting to open up a little bit.
So just must keep an eye further back down the track. Any surprises? Well, Fabien Claude has done a good job. He's moved France into 6th position, and that's pretty good going from him. So a lot of work on the track. Still in 6th, 17 seconds behind. And Johannes Kuhn from Germany doesn't sound great, 9th place, but he's only 21 seconds behind. The race is still absolutely alive. It may not look it with 3 detached teams, but anything can really happen on the range.
So, will we see Ponsiluoma move ahead? We might. No, he's taking his time.
I think he might have been learned from Lynn Persson earlier, just nipping ahead into first lane for the most important shoot of her season so far.
So he's had a chance to recover a little, Ponsiluoma. He did all the work early on and then managed to ease off, relatively speaking, ease off coming in for this first shoot.
Ludwig Redler on the scope. He was the last time in the team, the last time Austria won here, 22 years ago. Where is Ada? Ada's lost a little bit of pace there coming in, but I think Ada will let those shots go fast. First time in for athletes, second leg athletes. France are back in the game. Oh. Ponsiluoma, he's missed the middle shot. Ada is going for the fast option. He's made it happen. 17 years of World Cup experience on the range.
2 penalties for Sweden. Ponsiluoma got the first shot away and second shot hit and probably thought, yep, this is easy, make it happen.
Estonia, Germany, Italy, brilliant. 5 out of 5s. This race is wide open. Well, that was good discipline from Ponsiluoma, but the 10-second shift that he made to close Norway down, he paid the price.
So now he's going to be skiing on his limit, trying to make up that deficit again. Finland 5 with 5. Bit of trouble getting the sling unhooked from his arm there. Lost a couple of seconds, but heading away.
Yes, it's annoying when it's on an elastic support and it normally pulls it out of your arm cuff quickly. Now, where's he going to miss the second one? High right, just on the edge, 2 o'clock. Now he has to, he's still locked into his rifle, struggled a little getting the spare round in the chamber. No problem, leaning over. You kind of break your elbow position with that big lean over. You move it ever so slightly.
It's a stretch. You can't quite see where you're pushing the round, so it goes a lot on feeling. And when your hands are wet and cold, you can lose that feeling. It gets awfully clumsy.
It does indeed. Oh, Philip Fjeld Andersen, a little lucky down at 5 o'clock. You can see it. and then at 2 o'clock. So both shots half hitting to the right side. So the chase is on, although Norway are leading, and Austria with Simon Eder, I say hanging in there. I think he is. He's beginning to struggle. When Eder put in such a fast first lap, his recent form didn't show quite the ability to do this speed, but in a relay, you put it all out there. You have to set a higher comfort zone than you normally can cope with. And look at France. They were 16th at one point. They're now 3rd. Bib 15 moving up the track as well. And Estonia in 5th position. Sorry, that's shooting time, I beg your pardon. It's, yes, Estonia. Ranked 14th in 4th place. Giacomo for Italy, ranked 15th in 5th place. Hartweg doing a great job for Switzerland. And Johannes Kern for Germany in 7th place.
So Ponsaloma left the range just almost 20 seconds behind Anderson. Let's see what he's doing here. It's going to be more like 12 seconds, 10 Oh my word, fantastic. I mean, it's a great performance to make 10 seconds up by that point. Much of which has been downhill, at least half of it has.
I'm feeling, Ian, that at the front, so the new member into the sort of established Norwegian team, Philip Fjeld Andersen looks a little tight today. You know, it's the pressure of leading out. Oh, sorry, in second position, second leg, I should say, for Norway. Is that pressure getting to him today? Is it affecting his technique? His mouth is wide open. He looks like he's struggling. And normally we would see him skiing a little faster.
I wonder if he's bearing in mind at this stage, you know, all of the pressure of Norway seems to be on his shoulders, or is he bearing in mind that he's also still got Johannes Tingnesbo to hand over to him from him?
That my thinking was also, is he just keeping it some control before the all-important stand shoot and then unleash all of his pace on the last lap of 2.5 kilometers? But he really is allowing 1, 2, 3, 5 further nations into the mix here for the medals.
His main concern is going to be Fabien Claude.
There is Claude. Claude has had to push the pace on the first exchange. France were in 7th place. Okay, he's up into 3rd. Eder, you can see Eder there now. By the time he got to the top of that huge climb, his body is absolutely suffering now, and he'll want to get some recovery, get his breathing under control. So he's backed off in a world of discomfort.
He does know this track, this course, this range better than anyone else currently out there, and possibly maybe is just deciding this is the pace that I know I need to move in order to get 5 with 5 quickly. And the gap between him and Anderson is not so big that a quick 5 with 5 isn't going to, you know, it means he can move into first place.
Yes, and the next leg for Austria, Felix Leitner, he is their favourite athlete, the man on form. Although on form, I say, 29th yesterday was the best Austrian result, so at the moment Austria in 2nd place on the second leg in the relay. Ponsiluoma's back, he can ski his way out of trouble. Ponsiluoma standing tall, his skis are gliding well. Germany in the mix there now. Austria, Sweden, Germany, and well, look at Team 18 there. That's a wonderful day, and good to see Switzerland. Hartweg, he just looks so composed in all aspects of his biathlon. Jean-Paul, Ludwig, they're all looking, well, pensive. You need the glasses on today, or these wet snowflakes now get in your eyes.
So impressed to see Ponsiluoma. You said he can ski himself out of trouble. He might have just skied himself into trouble though, Mike.
Yes.
We'll see now. We'll watch and see.
to miss his first shot. So Anderson composing himself incredibly well. But Ponciloma is going for rapid fire. Oh, missing the last. Italy away. Austria. Eder tried fast, it didn't work. He needed more air. There's Norway out in second place. Ponciloma, the fast routine, it worked to a point.
One spare from Sweden. Ponciloma took the shot, thought he'd hit it, broke position, had to rebuild.
It's Germany, and it's Johannes Kuhn who's struggling now. He's on the penalty loop for Germany. That's a real shame. Mark Kirchner, there he is, involved in so many relays in his career. He'll be so disappointed. Germany second last weekend. For me, this really is putting them off a risk for not making it back to the podium. They'll find themselves somewhat 1 minute behind.
Yeah, that's tough, and there's going to be a lot of traffic ahead of them going into this last loop. I did some calculations earlier, Mike. Interestingly enough, you know, based on yesterday's results, if you added all the Norwegian times together, they skied their 10 kilometers each. If you add them all together, over 4 minutes faster than Germany did. So if that had been a relay, they would have finished 4 minutes ahead, and almost 2 minutes ahead of the French. Wow. So they're out and out the absolute favourites to win today. But at this stage in the race, the margin is going out of the range. What have we got?
Yes, well, Italy leading the way out of the range, and Anderson second place, just missing that first shot. I thought he did so well here to compose and keep control. Look at Ponciloma, he really ran out of air. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deep breaths.
He thought he would hit it. So frustrating.
Just ran out of air. The pace that he put in to pull Sweden back into it. Dead center.
Dead center. So well done, Italy. May even hang on to a first place handover.
I'm impressed, very, very impressed with Giacomo. He's not frightened that Anderson is chasing him, and Ponciloma once again has to do the damage on the track. Simon Eder, he left the range in fourth place, still in fourth place. It was 14 seconds. It's probably going to be 18 or 20 seconds at the next time split. What a day for Italy. What a fabulous day for Italy. Can they keep it to the line? It would be great if they could. It's David Zingerli next. He's very good, very safe through the rifle, but his ski pace really is not quite there if he wants to live with the big names. Johannes Tingesbo coming up. Emilian Jacquelin. It's going to be a very tough task for David Zingerli.
One penalty for Eder, that's below par. He wouldn't have expected that. But Hartweg, again, another just solid. Look at him, he's so cool. I think he's a future star, Mike. He's so cool, he's relaxed. His body weight, transfer, power down through the poles, all looks good. And he doesn't look like he's stressing.
He doesn't at all. His family spent a lot of time in London. He's a very gifted athlete, was a triathlete throughout his younger years. Very talented swimmer, cyclist, so he's an all-rounder. And yes, his movement and his poise on the skis, Hartweg. We'll see him coming around the corner soon. He's quite amazing. Bright future.
Impressed by Giacomo here. He's hanging on to that first place and not letting that gap close.
He's certainly not. Philip Fjeld Andersen, he's suffering, isn't he, when he's looking back. Where's France? They're right there. So it's Emilian Jacquelin next for France and Johannes Tingesbo next for Norway.
So the script for Norway would be get to first place with Leigrid and then hold a position with Anderson. He's almost certainly not going to end up in first place. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes as they get to the finish. But then they have Bo, who is able to respond to pretty much anything that's going on around him.
He is, he definitely is. The snow is falling heavily, and Simon Eder is struggling up this final climb, or the final big climb. Eder, he left the range in 14 seconds deficit, then it was 21, now it's 27 seconds. We kind of predicted that. Giacomo
skiing well, Mike. Look at this. He's punchy and he's lifting his body weight still. Other athletes behind him look more tired than he does.
Oh, he's totally inspired to take Italy to the top of the pack. Rapid, fearless shooting. Often when he thinks about his shooting, Giacomo, it doesn't go as well. Just releasing when he sees it in his sight picture, he's at his best. Oh, look who's come through again and again. Ponchiloma ahead of Norway. Sweden ahead of Norway. It is a good day for Sweden. I love their running order, but it's Pep Femling next for Sweden. Remember, he missed 2 targets, 2 penalty loops last week. That was on the first leg. Slightly less pressured leg, maybe you could say, on leg 3. Well, Philip Fjeld Andersen, would Tarja Bo have given something different? Maybe not on the range, but I think Tarja would have skied a little faster on the track.
Yeah, he's a wise old character, Tarja, isn't he? And he would have been able to cope with the conditions. Tricky out there, a lot going on in the race. The script for the race is not falling into place the way you would expect it, and you want an old head on your shoulder in this kind of an event.
You do. Italy at the front. Didn't think I would say that so early this season. Italy leading the way coming into leg 3. They're chased by the big names, Sweden, then Norway, then France. Will Italy remain in first place for long? I don't want to be negative or downbeat, but I don't think they will. I think they'll be third or fourth next time into the range for the first shoot. So France 15 behind. And Simon Eder, it was 27.9 last time, it's probably extended more. It is another 10 seconds lost. So Austria away, it's Felix Leitner, their best skier on form at the moment, and Germany. The penalty loop has cost them dear, but 45 behind, not out of it at all yet in terms of podium. Good to see Ukraine. 3 spare rounds, only 3 spare rounds used, 58 seconds behind, still well in the race. What's Johannes Tingesbo going to do?
Indeed, what is he going to do? Is he going to go ahead and take the lead, which he's perfectly capable of doing before the first shoot? I think the answer is yes. I think we'll see him move ahead.
I think so. He's just warming into it. And David Zingerle is almost absorbed already after, what, 800 meters.
Leitner must have broken a stick shortly after the start.
I have to say, that was a very good spear pull.
A very good pole catch, wasn't it? Excellent drills.
Well, that's one thing they don't do is practice. Look at this. Look at this. You got one chance.
There you go. Very good. Well done.
That was a full pace.
Get that man a beer later.
He needed it for that uphill section. Couldn't have been a better pit stop.
Now, this is actually the ideal position for Jacqueline, because he just loves this kind of battle, doesn't he? He'll see these other athletes ahead of him. He'll know that he can catch them. He'll believe that he can catch them. And at the moment, the person only one place in front of him is Norway, which is their main rival in this race.
Look at this, and you're right, Norway. Johannes Tingesbo has had enough. Okay, I've warmed up. And he sensed that this man is really hitting hard. You predicted it. So Johannes Tingesbo absolutely turning the pace up now. Jacqueline is inspired. Look at this.
Yeah, there are few people out there that could have responded to Bo going full pelt at this point in the race. Jacqueline is one of them, and actually would relish it.
Yes, relishing it. Yeah, I think Johannes Tingesbo was caught a little sleeping there. He didn't expect Jacqueline to come through so quickly. As soon as he looked over his shoulder, he made the move. So it's all changed, and sadly for Italy, and the next camera shot will probably see Italy down in 4th place. It was first by 5 seconds. Sandra Flunger there, women's coach for Switzerland, out encouraging Switzerland to greater positions. Look at Johannes Tingesbo, absolutely destroyed. Pep Femling for Sweden, not able to, there he is. And David Zingerli managing to stay with Sweden, damage limitation.
It's good, stay in there, relax, let Sweden stress. Let them take the pace. There's just so much. It's so much easier when you can just slot in behind someone. When I say easier, it's hurting right now out there. They are in pain, but it is not as difficult as taking the lead.
It's not. I'm just wondering what Jean-Paul Giacchino, who's scoping for the French team, is thinking. He's watching up on the big screen, and he's looking at the pace that Jacqueline has attacked this race.
He's got his fingers crossed, Mike.
Toes crossed.
It could go well. Jacqueline will be having fun. That always works well for Jacqueline.
He's a showman, and this is like a little warm-up for his showmanship at home in Annecy next weekend. So the chasing teams, the race is still alive. Switzerland still there at 6th place. And Switzerland 57 behind. Roman Rees is in 5th place for Germany. And David Zingerli is in 4th place for Italy at the moment. And 10 seconds behind Johannes Tingesbo. His turn of pace there, Ian, that's only like 1.2 kilometers, where Johannes Tingesbo has really gone up into race pace. But this man must be suffering physically, Jacqueline.
Well, I think he's eased off a little bit. 2-3 years ago, we'd have seen him pushing still at this point, fighting to try and close the gap a little further, but he's wised up a little bit, and he knows it will go badly for him in the range, and you know, they could end up in 10th place if he ends up on the penalty loop.
And we must remind the audience that you can take more risk in this race. You have your 5 shots and 3 spare rounds for any targets remaining after the first 5.
Almost no wind. The snow is eased off a little bit.
So, oh, look at the snow on the mat. His right elbow slipping a little. It does play a part.
Not slow. Yes.
Magnificent. I love the way he took his time. You know, he didn't want to risk anything. What's Jacqueline going to do? Is it rapid fire? It is.
He will try the same. He has to, really.
Oh, it's working.
Yes.
Worked. Oh, that was incredible. And Pep Femling, he tried. He ran out of air for the 5th shot, but he's got it after the first time of asking. David Zingerli, 5 out of 5. Well done to Italy.
Roman Rees, Germany in the range all on their own. You don't get that very often. At least not when we're talking about 30 seconds behind.
Just thinking, as Roman Rees gets underway rapid fire, it's their last win was the 5th of March 2021 in Novo Mesto in terms of relay. I thought they may challenge today, but of course it was a penalty loop for Johannes Kuhn. But they're not out of this race at all yet. So Austria, Leitner is the best there, 5 out of 5. Switzerland, a spare round required, maybe 2. Estonia, 2 targets remaining. That's a real pity for Estonia. It was going well. Finland, 5 out of 5. Ukraine with 1 spare round used. They've got 5 targets down. Kazakhstan, this is where it begins to hurt. Estonia, 1 target, 1 shot. That really does pile the pressure on. Oh, pressure.
So demoralizing, knowing you're going to be skiing an extra 150 meters. And that's before you get to the stand shoot.
Well, Johannes Tingesbo, last year he won 1 World Cup race. Yes, he won 2 Olympic golds in the individual races. He's won 3 races already. And we're only on 4 races, 4 individual races, which count towards the overall World Cup score. He is back.
Yeah, there came a point, I think, halfway around that first loop. Johannes Tingnes thought, okay, let's go, let's do this, and started to push the pace. And I think he's probably having great fun out there right now. The most frustrating thing for Johannes will be knowing that Jack Alain is the athlete behind him, and reproduced his shoot in the range, perfect 5 with 5, and really fast.
I was so impressed with Jack Alain. He took himself to the limit, took an awful lot of risk, and it paid off. So Jack Alain, what's it going through his mind? How much pain is going through his legs and his arms, and every muscle in your body in this sport practically being used for balance, for movement. And then you add just under 4 kilogram rifle, quite high up. Most of the weight of the rifle is the barrel, and that is up higher than your head as you ski along.
Jack Alain's lost a little bit of time on bow at this point, which is not surprising, and let's give him the credit. If he is thinking, I must ski my race, not bows, then that means he can shoot his shoot, and that keeps France in the running, given that he knows they've got the superstar. He's not great form, Fielmaillet, but he is France's superstar right now. And Christensen, going last for Norway, has been off form lately.
It's still, this race has still got a long way to run, and I'm sure we're going to see many changes along the way, but Norway leading by 17 seconds ahead of France. Switzerland in 3rd place, 28 behind. David Zingerle surviving in 4th position at 42 behind now, and Roman Rees for Germany 103 behind. Austria still there. They were 4th last weekend. There they are now into 6th place. Terro Seppala from Finland into 7th place, and Switzerland dropping down a little to 8th place, ranked 18, so it's still a good day in 8th position.
I'm just wondering what the psychology for Jack Alain is right now. Knowing that this is not the end of the race changes how you can approach this 3rd leg. Likewise with Bo, actually, that's why he's in 3rd place. Putting your best athlete in the 3rd leg means that they can usually just go out and perform their very best results, their best race, rather than knowing that everything rests on their performance and what happens after their last shoot.
Yes, in Norway, the selection last night, thinking, well, we'll put Leigrid the safe bet 1st leg, then the sort of new member to our relay team at World Cup level, Anderson 2nd, and then damage limitation from Johannes Tingnes Bo if required. And then the safe hands, I think, the safe hands of Christensen as the anchor leg. He did miss 2 out of his 5 stand shots yesterday, Christensen, quite unexpected. So here we are, lap 8 of 12, and Johannes Tingnes Bo coming in for his stand shoot. The gap has opened slightly. Jack Alain was 13, then 17, and now 19 seconds behind.
We tend to think of that 19 seconds as roughly, for Bo at least, a penalty loop, but it's not quite the same thing in the relay, because you have to add in the time it takes. If you're on the penalty loop, it means you've used 3 spare rounds, and that can take 20, 25 seconds all by itself, especially in these conditions when the snow, the wet hands, tends to cause you to fumble.
Yeah, team's being pulled out further down the range. Johannes Tingnes Bo has lapped. So, look at his lower stomach. Dead centre.
Dead centre.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow. The cameraman struggled to keep up.
Do you know, he said it's always, yesterday, he said it's always a great feeling. Only biathletes know it. When you put 10 out of 10 down, he did it yesterday. He's done it again today. He didn't need spare rounds.
And all biathletes know that awful feeling when you're in 2nd place and you see 1st place ski out that quickly.
And there's the effect. It has a nerve-wracking effect.
This is fast and slightly reckless.
I like it. I like it. He doesn't care.
Me too. It's good fun.
Oh, exceptional. He took a lot of risk there. Jack Alain, it paid off.
Very good.
Very impressed. So Pep Femling makes up for his 2 penalties in the stand last weekend and keeps Sweden well and truly in the race, with Samuelsson coming up on the anchor leg. Big names on the anchor leg, as we always expect. Now then, Italy. Zingerle's strength is through the rifle. So accurate. The cheer is for Germany. And they're happy. Roman Rees, 5 out of 5. David Zingerle needing 1 spare. He may need more than 1. Good effort. Italy still in the race. Into 5th position now, with Germany moving ahead. Felix Leitner, he's pushed so hard on the track. Missed the second. Okay. Needs, ideally, target to go down with the first spare round. Excellent. Finland alongside him, so the race is on for Finland and Austria. But clearly ahead now by, it's a huge margin, 37 seconds. Johannes Tingesbo, there he is. He's loving biathlon this season. Wasn't enjoying it much at this time last year.
That is just absolute excellence.
It's hard to explain, isn't it? The feeling when you're pushing physically to your limit, you come in. And the everything about shooting is you need to be calm and stable. You're everything but calm and stable when you're punching so hard physically.
Yeah. And this was, you know, Giacomelli acknowledging that despite the first miss, that the next 4 were genius, and he's working on autopilot as Johannes Tingesbo did for his stand. The chances are that Johannes Tingesbo won't actually be able to remember much of that shoot, because you turn up, you slot into that autopilot. If it all goes well, you're out of the range before you realize what just happened, even though you know you shot clear.
It is bizarre, and even when you're in that magic form that Johannes Tingesbo is in right now, sometimes you really just don't even remember being in the range. It's weird. You're in a beautiful floating trance, and I think that's the kind of place where he is at the moment, and he's destroying the rest of the field now. He's happy to have hit another 10, and the bad news for that happiness is that the time is seeping away now. Jacqueline put it all out there early. It was on the table that he was going to kill himself on the tracks, but now he's suffering the 3rd time round.
Yeah, you can always rely on Jacqueline to hurt himself badly in a race to try and pull off a result.
So Germany, well, they're looking ahead at Sweden and France and then Norway, and now the gap feels quite painful when you're down at below 1:15 behind on the last leg, or coming up towards the last leg. It can break your spirit just a little. So, Sverre Olsbro-Roysland just giving exact timings there. You're still in the race, and he's saying you're only, well, a few seconds off 3rd place. David Zingerle, who's going to catch him? Well, he's got good snow there. I think that's is that Finland coming round? It is. It's Tero Sapala. I think Tero will actually absorb and pass David Zingerle. And then, of course, it's Felix Leitner for Austria.
Yeah, we should anticipate this gap, these 3 closing up, possibly getting to the handover more or less together.
Felix Leitner didn't show great form up in Finland, and yesterday, what was it, a 29th position? But flying on the tracks today, how much pressure now? It's going to be over 45 seconds. Well, that indicates confidence.
Yeah.
Or fear. Look, I'm pretending to be up for this and ready for the challenge. Incredibly, Johannes Tingesbo starts tomorrow in the pursuit, the last race here tomorrow. He's saving nothing for tomorrow. He could set himself up for yet another win tomorrow. He leads out by 43 seconds in the pursuit competition.
So handing over 45 seconds ahead of France brings with it its own pressure, and Christensen will, if you asked him, he'd say, yep. And then you say, well, do you want the 45-second gap? He would go, yep, absolutely.
Get me.
Especially with Fiormaillet chasing him.
So the final exchange over into the responsibility now handed over to Vetle Sakstad Christensen. He looked fairly confident. He's going to have over 50 seconds, I think. But this man is looking very much up for the challenge. Quentin Fiormaillet angrily staring down the track.
Yeah, you watched Christensen ski away. You could see the look in his eye. That's the target. This is who I need to beat. But look at the gap now.
But you know what? The risk. Jacqueline went so fast in the first loop. He survived round the second loop. Oh my word, he's losing incredible amount of time. Has he actually fallen out there?
Well,
no, he hasn't.
I think both of these guys have suffered in that last loop. They obviously pushed it hard. It's going to be almost a minute.
Do you know what? This just shows
over a minute
what Johannes Tingesbø can do to the rest of the field. But it is partly, skewered in the fact that when you break, when you set out with such a sprint race pace, Jacqueline now suffering from that initial blast. So France into second place. The main man from last year is out for France. Fiormaillet could do nothing wrong last year. He's finding his way this new season, but he has Sweden and Samuelsson on his case.
Samuelsson. So I wonder, that minute and 6 seconds will have felt like 5 minutes to Fiormaillet as he watched Norway ski away and then wondered, where on earth has Jacqueline gone? What is going on? So I wonder now, is he switching to thinking about the race being silver?
Possibly. 106 is huge, and in their minds they know how well Christensen normally shoots. He's a safe pair of hands through the rifle, but you never know. We've seen teams crumble with a minute 6 lead in the relay. It's rare that we see such a huge margin at this stage in the relay. Finland did move ahead of Italy. Tero Seppälä. This is a great news day for Finland. Once again, they showed it last weekend, back home, finishing 6th. So Finland, Italy, Austria, 6th and 7th positions there. Well, Christensen just been given the information there. He said you're 1 minute and 6 seconds ahead at the handover. He'll be in disbelief. He didn't see the handover. When he looked at the clock, it was still 45 seconds.
Yeah, he should be able to relax, ski technically well, stay positive, not think about what's going on behind him. That doesn't help him at all. Just thinking about what he's doing and getting ready for his first shoot.
Yes, it is about managing himself, just looking at it as his own race, not caring about that 1 minute and 6 seconds. And I get the feeling, Ian, that Quentin Fiormaillet in second place coming down the hill, just looking at his springiness, his movements as he presses down his body weight and then the explosiveness there through his lower leg, it's looking better. I feel his form is coming back.
Yeah, this is what we usually expect with Fiormaillet, isn't it? A few weeks of racing and then he starts to get the feeling, and I expect he'll be hoping that he's really sharp for next week. Yes. Little slip there for Benedikt Dahl. Good to have the wise old head of Benny Dahl going last for Germany, and still the possibility, no chance of a win, you have to say, unless something terrible happens now, but yes, certainly a podium possibility.
Yeah, definitely. So bib number 4, that's Austria. Harald Lemmerer taking the responsibility. He was only 49th yesterday.
So good to see Italy up there, Mike.
It is. It's refreshing. It's positive. And the anchor leg for Italy, Stronger angle, so they put David Zingerle in third leg. Danielle Fauner, again, it's a young team. It's an evolving team. It's a growing team, and they're putting a lot of money into this team. The Milan Cortina team, as it's called, very much looking at 4 years down the line, but today there'll be a little smile thinking, well, we've still got 4 years to go, and this team is beginning to look good already.
Yeah, Daniel Fauner looks relaxed here. It doesn't look like he's pushing the pace at the moment, so if he's holding something back, that would be good. And certainly Christensen is holding something back, not having to stress. More of a training race. If you can focus on it that way, keep his head and enjoy himself, and do a little bit of mental training prep for tomorrow's pursuit.
Just thinking as Christensen comes in, Fauner, the anchor leg, Danielle Fauner, this is his first outing at World Cup, racing well up in Idre in the IBU Cup last week, so huge day for this team that's being built for the next Olympics in Cortina. At the moment, Christensen, the lead is still massive as he comes in for his first shoot.
Looks over the rifle, takes his time, same routine every time. Close.
A lot more movement through his rifle between each shot. Some biathletes go through that style. Brilliant pressure off at least a little.
Worried look on the coach's face. And that's because if Norway lose, having had over a minute going into the last leg, it's seriously bad news.
It is, and yes, the unexpected. This is quite interesting. Samuelson, was it wise to move ahead? We'll have to wait and see what the outcome is. Patrick Favre for France, he's Italian, but he's on the scope for France, the shooting coach. And Johannes Lucas, Swedish coach, everyone tense. Johan Hagström, Jean-Marc Chablot, all the Swiss eyes, Swedish eyes I should say, are on this lane 2 at the moment. And look who's coming back into it. Fiormaillet will realise, instead of just one beside me, I have two, one left, one right. Germany and Sweden.
Oh, one miss. Sweden are clear, and Fiormaillet is not used to missing the target, certainly not in a relay.
Oh, his prone shooting.
No,
oh, he thought it was down.
One.
He's broken position. Germany moving ahead. This is a very, very bad day for Fiormaillet. He's lost, what, some 11. The sights were closed. He broke position. He's lost 12, 13 seconds.
Well,
oh, dear.
And so much will have gone through his mind. It's difficult to push all those negative thoughts out of your mind and think about the shot when you've gone through a disappointment like that. You were sure you hit, probably felt good, the sight picture would have looked good, everything about it would have felt right, so much so that someone with the experience of Fiormaillet expected the target to fall and it didn't, and he was a little stumped, Mike.
And every shooting coach says follow through, stay with it, don't break your position. It affects if you're thinking of getting out, if your brain is going through that process, you've got to stay on the trigger. He knows that. Fiormaillet knows that better than anyone, but he was so keen to get out. He thought it was a hit.
Absolutely, Mike. Better than anyone, just about anyone in the field.
Hidden Sala, 5 out of 5. So easy, non-stressed. Harold Lemmerer, he'll be feeling the pressure. They didn't really know who to put last. They thought Leitner, but in the end it was Lemmerer.
Is Fauner going to clear? No. One miss.
It's not bad for your first ever outing at World Cup, and panic now for Harold Lemmerer. What's he doing?
That is so frustrating.
Oh, I feel for him. He's dropped the bullets. Yeah. Yes, it's only 5.1 millimeters wide, that bullet going into the chamber. He's lost a lot of time.
Yeah, probably 10 seconds, but isn't it crazy, Mike? You feel like that 10 seconds is more like 30 seconds. It seems to take forever.
Well, and Gretel will be thinking, oh, last time I raced here, we won 22 years ago. But it takes time to build a winning team in the relay. Well, that was fascinating. And Fiumaye, his confidence leading into next weekend. Look at Lemmerer there.
Oh,
so he's
annoying.
He's put it in at an angle.
Yeah,
now,
it jams, gets stuck.
Finger in there and slide it into the chamber. But nope, he's going to take it out.
Yeah, now the best thing to do is drop it, forget it, and start again. Get another round, because you probably bent the head on it.
There.
Look at that. Did he take his magazine out to get it?
He did. He did. It didn't drop by his own accord, so he had to take the magazine out to drop it through the chamber. Losing a lot of time. Well, Samuelsson, I'm so impressed. He moved ahead of Fiumaye, maybe putting Fiumaye under a little pressure as they came into the range. And Samuelsson just confident on the range. And we said when Johannes Kuhn missed that penalty loop, yeah, on leg 2, it's damage limitation. You can still come back and maybe get a podium. Oh, they're chasing second place. And the great man of last year, the man who could do nothing wrong, is struggling today a little, Fiumaye. He won 8 World Cup races, 2 individual Olympic gold medals. So 10 races Fiumaye won last year.
Yep, every day just seemed to be just another day at the races. Turn up, do your thing, go home, massage, press, interviews, feed, sleep, and get up and do it again. But he's got quite a lot more to think about this year, hasn't he?
He has, and life-changing. All the medals he did win at the Olympics. He was asked to many, many big public events in the summer. I saw how busy his calendar was. And he's a quiet man. He needs to centre himself. He loves the mountains. But you have to go with the interest, I suppose. And I think he'll be back this season. He may well be back next weekend. He's too good to not expect him to win again.
Look at that lovely, lovely skate 2 up here. It just looks so effortless. I mean, few people can do that, never mind make it look easy.
Yes, he's angry, he's focused, he's looking ahead to the podium and Germany. And he's got 10 seconds to pull back. He's actually lost 1 second from the range to Benny Dahl. And on the anchor leg, you need someone who's a worker, and Benny Dahl is that man. He never gives up. But here we are, already back at the range. They've got such a huge lead, 1 minute and 17 seconds. I think Christensen, though, will just try and stick to routine. He won't think, oh, take my time. He'll stick to routine.
First shot hit, second miss. Was it? No.
Nope, that's athlete further down, third shot miss. Now the brain starts going into a little panic. Good control. Interesting. He's still smiling. He thinks, I've still got time. Don't panic, don't panic. That was probably just to take the stress away from himself. Stress is building.
Isn't this interesting? Anyone who thinks this is easy, look at how hard it is for someone with such an advantage, and the advantage itself seems to play on the mind.
Yeah, we've seen it many times. Oh, penalty loop. Penalty loop. Still not critical yet. That's what, in today's slow conditions, this is going to be 27 seconds. Where's the clock? 42, he's gone round. Well, Samuelsson, he will know. I think he would have been aware, but at the moment, Norway's still safe. Christensen should be out, and on the final 2.5.
Yeah. The mistake now would be for Samuelsson to think that a fast shoot and I can possibly win. Because if he's thinking that, he'll almost certainly not hit all the targets.
Christensen's away.
Oh, that was rushed.
Germany in alongside. And Benny Dahl, come on Benny Dahl. And Fiumaye has gone for, remember he only came in 10 seconds behind. He's gone for a lot of risk. Fiormaillet, and it hasn't paid off. Huge pressure. So Germany, well, this is going to be interesting. Fiormaillet will not give up. He knows he needs this one for a chance of a podium. Well, I say a chance of a podium, Ian. It's going to be so tight, maybe a 10 seconds, but Benny Doll, oh, he'll never give in.
No, now we find out who pushed it hard on the middle leg.
This was so interesting. He did stick to routine, but the nerves got to Christensen in the end, I think. Panic shot when you miss that far. Now he's slowly going into spiraling into panic. When this one missed.
Wow, three bullets to hit 2 targets. On any other day, no problem at all.
Yeah. That's it. That's what's so exciting about the relay. You can make your own predictions, and when you see a 1 minute 17 leads into the range, actually it was 1 minute 19. It's in biathlon terms, it's easy going, but often that's that massive. There's more to lose than there is to gain.
That's right. Yeah, all of his teammates have been there. They've all done it themselves. That won't stop him giving him a big ribbon later. I think, you know, he'll get it in the neck, but it'll be good-humoured.
Yeah, but I think Mazet will, yes, have analysed that, and he'll have a serious debrief later. So big pressure here. 5 teams alongside: Austria, Switzerland, Italy, Czech Republic, and Slovenia.
Everyone missing. Opportunity lost.
And look at this. This is serious points in terms of world standing.
Good.
Look at that.
And we have another race.
The chase is on. Canada, they've been chasing. Haven't really shouted out too much about Canada, America, and the teams behind. Try and give you an update once we just have a look at Benny Doll. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think even the great Fiormaillet can close this down today.
No, at his best last year, almost certainly we're not seeing him at his best, either shooting or skiing right now. So little chance, I suspect.
I think Samuelsson, they were 10th last weekend. Today, Sweden comfortably in 2nd. Yes, Sweden will be very happy today. They were very disappointed last weekend in the relay.
Yeah, 2nd silver medal is a good result today. There was the opportunity. It really didn't go Norway's way today, even though they've won. Even though they're going to come out on top, there is a lot to talk about in the review.
There is. And just imagine if Johannes Tingesbo hadn't put such an incredible pace on the last leg, things could be very different. Oh, well, look at this. It was 10 seconds. Ian, he's just not at the races. Benny Doll is going like a rocket further up the track, and Fiormaillet can do nothing about it.
Yeah, Fiormaillet may have overdone it on the middle loop to try and make up that difference.
Christensen, when you look back, you just, he's running out of air. Look at Benny Doll, he's trying to go for 2nd. Does Samuelsson know that the gap is seriously closing and seriously fast?
There'll come a point, I think, on this loop when Benny Doll will realise that he's got the pursuit to do tomorrow.
Save a little something in the legs, but he's still, in his own mind, will be thinking, where is Fiormaillet? He hasn't looked back. The coaches have given him an indication that he's extending those 10 seconds. Benny Doll did win the World Championships 10-kilometer sprint here back in 2017 as a world champion. Samuelsson's running out of air. He put so much into the early part of his race. I think he's safe though in 2nd.
Yeah, I don't think he's stressing. Not a big gap, but not likely to lose that advantage at this point, I don't think.
No, so Germany, well, their last win I mentioned was in March, well, 5th of March 2021. And only Well, Benny Dahl and Norath were racing that day. It's only Benny Dahl and this team who was there the last time they won. Christensen, a big sigh of relief. Didn't feel good for him on the range, and he won't feel great about his race today. The spotlight was on him.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it, Mike? When in reality, 3 of the 4 Norwegians have had a bad race, and they've still taken gold. Only Johannes Tinglesbo had a good race today.
He did, so Norway take the victory. It switched around a little. They didn't have it all their own way, and a huge lead for Christensen coming into the stand. They'll all have a laugh. There's good spirit in this team. Now that it's over. Now that
it's over. Yeah.
Great job for Sweden. 10th last weekend, 2nd today, and really are very much back at the races in relay terms. Germany, it didn't go all of their way. They were on the penalty look, but well done to Benny Dahl. He was being chased there by last week's overall winner of the World Cup total score, and it looked like the chase was on, but Benny Dahl safely in for Germany. Well, France have never won here. Today wasn't that day. They have had 13 podiums, 4 times second, 9 times third. They do like this venue. They've got a great record here, and Phil Maillet just has to analyse what's going on, review what's happening, congratulating all the other teams. Wonderful. So further back, well, France 4th, so 5th on the track is Finland, then Austria, then Switzerland, Czech Republic, then Italy, dropping down on the track. Italy sadly for Fauner, Trushan for Slovenia, and that's 10th place for Slovenia. Canada in 11th.
Mike, these guys look absolutely